that's out of the way. If you don't know, Rush is a 5v5 league hosted by myself and the rest of the coordinator team over at WCL. If you are interested in checking out the other streamers, I believe we have three more streamers for the event today. It'll be Noodleton, who's covering uh, Decoy versus 1F to start. We have Dave GM covering. I'll have to double check actually. I forgot. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I forgot completely. But Dave GM's covering matches as well as Snake the Jake. So if you want to check them out, go ahead and do so as well. Yeah, so let's get right off into it. We're going to be covering Keg versus SW here. Uh, Looking forward to this match. I think these teams should be pretty equally matched here. At least that's what I'm hoping. SW starting off with a machine, a 260, a 277, IS-7, and a Panzerwagen. And they'll be attacking against Keg here, who's running a Valor, an IS-7, a Bat, a CS, and a Kanonen GST Term. Okay. First time I think I've seen a Kanonen in a match before, so we'll see what he's able to do. Not a very strong tank. Definitely an interesting pick, but he's going to be up at the top of the map holding the north side, so we'll see if he's able to get much going here. SW is attacking. They have a very heavy lineup. 4 heavies and a light. Honestly, not a bad lineup, though, to be fair. You know, while they are heavy, they are quite mobile. You know, the Soviet heavies known for mobility, and the machine basically a pseudo medium tank. So, yeah. I think off the bat favoring the SW lineup for sure, which appears to be making a south play. The RHM does get spotted up in the north, does decide to fall back. Probably a smart play here. Those double meds could spell trouble for him if he did stay on that Dune position. But now these double meds from Keg, they need to be careful here. They will spot these SW heavy tanks pushing, potentially? No, they don't. Samurai is going to peek the ridge. Batchat does get out. Let's see what Samurai sees here, because he needs to be very careful. He's in a very exposed position. If SW does take the south of the map like the 260 is doing here, he's going to have shots. Sam is going to have to fall back here, and he might just get a good timing on this. He really should dip into the low ground, but he's going to take the high ground here. He does get spotted, returns a shot onto the RHM, so up on the trades for now. 260 gets spotted out in the corner. So Sam getting away with this cross, which is really good for Keg. He should be able to be covered by the Batchat, although the Batchat is pretty far back on the low ground. He needs to be careful. Sam looking like he wants to make the cross into K0, into the hold down, but he is being chased by the 260. So he really needs the support of his Batchat right now, who is coming up. Should be able to get a nice clip into the back of the 260. How many shots will he get? That's 2. Looks like just the 2. He's going to leave Samurai in this 1v1, which, unfortunately, with the Ram, I don't think he's going to be able to win this one. We'll see how much damage he's able to put out. The Batchat coming in to reinforce, but this 277 is already here from the side of SW. So this is a suicide push if the Batchat did decide to keep going. He turns around. He's retreating. He's on reload. He does get tracked, though. Light tank and IS-7 also pressuring from this side. And, yeah, things not really going the way for Keg here. I think they just got caught out by those heavy tanks pushing. Just really bad timing for the CS to be crossing. And, you know, I admire the Batchat trying to help his friend out, but probably not the play to do there. Nevertheless, they are still in this. They are still defending, so if the Batchat's able to stay alive, which looks like he will, you know, they still have a chance in this. Kanonen has come down from the 0 line a little bit here. The problem now is SW has a light tank, and the only tank really with the camo to spot is the Batchat for the side of Keg. So him being really low health doesn't do them any favors. The 260 and the 277 have pushed up onto the red line, they'll be able to get shots in on the Valor and the IS-7 if they continue to poke here. And really, the Valor has no possibility of even spotting this light tank at this point, and really just going to have to rely on blind fires, which will be quite hard to do. He's not sitting in the obvious position, which would be the bushes here, because he doesn't need to. There's not really any tanks with good enough view range to spot him here. I like what Keg is doing, but I don't think they have enough time for this. 15 seconds on the cap with the IS-7 pressuring it at the same time. These two Soviet heavies also going to be holding this back, and I don't see a way for Keg to really get a reset here, so this is most likely going to go to the side of SW for round 1. Yeah. Very decisive win. Bit unfortunate for Keg there, I think. Timing's just not working out for them at all. We'll see what the score shows us here. Yeah. Really, it was just game over once the mediums were punished. Unfortunately, the heavies and the TD from the side of Keg not really able to have an impact on the game. You know, they were set up for a more northern play. SW decides to play the south and trades out the mediums very well. So, yeah, not really too much to say here. Really good push from the side of SW though. That was very well coordinated. I think even if they hadn't caught Sam out there for free, that would have been most likely still a win for them, I think, just given the setup that they have. But yeah, very good start for the side of SW. Let's see. Oh my god, I forgot to change. Ha ha ha. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. You guys just saw that from the lobby screen. So maybe we just stay on this screen. I think I'm not a professional streamer, guys. I'm sorry. We will. God, I suck at this. Okay. Yeah. So let's go ahead and give SW their point, and hopefully this next game you guys will be able to see the game, and I won't be the stupid streamer that doesn't switch screens. How about that? Anyway, I hope you guys were able to see how good of a push that was from SW. But I apologize again. Yeah, I'm a noob, so yeah. Sorry about that. We'll just, I'm sorry, I'm not Noodleton, guys. Okay, I can't manage like the 15 scenes to go through every single scenario here. I'm just a tournament admin trying my best. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, we'll go ahead and let them get some tanks picked up, and I'll join you for round 2, and we'll actually get to share this one together. How about that? All right, welcome back. And yeah, full screen this time. Awesome. So we got SW coming back with a QL, Double Valor, Machine, and an RHM. Pretty similar lineup to what they had last game. And over on the Keg side, we have. Oh, it's Encounter. Okay, I will be returning to Garage. Never mind. Uh, Apologies once again. All right, we should be getting the teams back now. Yeah. All right, cool. So both teams should pick the same lineups. So yeah, SW should be coming back with their QL Double Valor Machine and RHM, and Keg will be coming out with Double IS7 Machine, Batchat, and the Kanonen Jagdpanzer again. So yeah. Keg really believing that Kanonen Jagdpanzer. We didn't get to see it do much. Well, for two reasons: because the overlay was probably covering it most of the game, and also because it was not in a very useful position for how the game played out, unfortunately. They will be attacking this time, so they should be able to control the pace of the game and be able to get it more involved in this go around. But yeah, Keck not taking a light tank, and SW is, so, information battle is kind of in the favor of SW here. Although they do still have Bat Chat, which can do most of the same things the light tank can, albeit not quite as efficiently. So, yeah, we should be starting the game here. I believe. Hopefully. Just waiting. Okay, both teams have stated that they are ready. Any moment now. There we go. All right, and we are actually on NBA this time. Awesome. So yeah, Keg going for much heavier lineup compared to last game, dropping one of the meds for another heavy. Although they still have the machine, so I guess in some ways just as light as they were the game before. So yeah, have to see how they play this one out. Double I7s, there's a lot you could do with that. Really could be a south or a north play, so we'll just have to check out, see what they do. Looks like most of them will be going for the north play. Flitter in her IS7 going more toward the middle. We'll see if she goes to the middle dune or the middle ramp. Looks like she'll be going to the ramp. No, she makes a cut left. She's going toward the dunes. Okay. Or, oh. She's juking me out here with the cam. Okay. No, she is going to the dunes. Cool. She might take one from this QL, who has actually positioned himself in the sand dunes on the other side. But he does miss the snap. Looks like Sam and Lushi in the bat chat going to be pushing up. So Stargate actually needs to be very careful here. He could get overpushed right now. He does have the double Valors in the bowl, able to kind of get shots up into him, but they also need to be careful. If the machine and the bat chat peek the left side here, could be disastrous for them, but they do go ahead and push up onto the machine. Stargate getting clipped out right now. He's down to 878. He's a two-shot. The bat chat should be able to finish him off. Ooh, bad miss there out of Lushi, but he has plenty of rounds. Should be able to take this one out. Oh no, he bounces. He's going to need a shot from Den Mother. Let's see if Stargate keeps pushing down. Oh, he drives down in front of the IS-7s who weren't prepared to get the shots. They're looking the other direction. Can the Kanonen pick up the kill on the machine here? We do have double cap pressure from the IS-7s as well. But the machine does start clipping into the back of the IS-7. I think this is a bad play from the IS-7s. They should be aware of this. Should be getting callouts from the bat chat and the machine on their team. But Sam is coming around. He should be able to get a nice clip into these heavies. Would prefer if he was focusing out the low health Valor there, but, you know, gets a little bit of chip damage into the one Valor. Stargate goes down in the machine finally. And Keg trying to wrestle control of this game. They're up HP and up a kill at this point, but it's still not over yet. Death Play Toy, and the QL does get tracked, and Emeract looks like he gets that repaired. He does pull back, so he stops getting punished by the bat chat. Bat is on reload now. SW needs to kind of make a play here while the bat's reloading. I think letting him get another clip off right now would be pretty detrimental for the chances of winning. So, looks like Warlord James over-peeking onto the double Valors here, sorry. One Valor down to a one-shot. Den Mother has a lot of the team's HP right now. Really needs to get that involved in the battle. Sam just about off reload. He might be able to clean up Sardahi in the Valor here. He gets 1, 2, 3, and Warlord James looks like picks up the kill there. Flirter still alive on 4 HP as well, and yeah, Keg responds, gets a nice round here. They should be able to wrap this one up rather quickly. Yeah, I think key part of this game was definitely Stargate getting caught out. I don't think they managed to spot out the bat chat and the machine on that push up. And if they did, it was very briefly. It didn't seem to notice. So, although he did stay alive a lot longer than he really should have, ultimately, you know, just wasn't able to get as much damage out. And yeah, Keg manages to pick up the kill. That's the thing about these 5v5s, right? Is a lot of times in like a 7v7, you can kind of trade out a tank, and you know, you can always get that tank back, right? Being one person down in a 7v7, so it goes into like a 6v7, that's really not that bad. But here it's like, that's 20% of your tank force. Like, that's a very considerable chunk, and yeah, it's just a lot harder to win a man down in a 5v5 than it is in a 7v7. So, yeah, let's go take a look at the numbers here. The QL putting up a good amount of damage there, and really not too bad from the whole team, all things considered. And over on the side of Keg, you know, Sam, he was able to get the initial clip off onto the enemy machine, and then he just kept putting in shots into the Valors, I believe, in the bolt, and probably got another last clip on the light tank or something. So really good game out of him, and yeah, just all in all, pretty decent round. A little scrappy. I think Stargate Fox definitely lived a lot longer than they should have in their machine. So really sloppy from the bat chat and the Kanonans and the IS-7s. Really, all could have had a shot on that machine, but Keg gets the win regardless. Doesn't matter. And yeah, they're gonna even up the score 1-1. So let's see. Do that. There we go. Go ahead and let them get some tanks picked up for round number 3, and I will be back. I'm liking what I'm seeing already, though. That Andre the Giant, S tier pick. Not really, but kind of a Chad pick, though, to be honest. I like it. All right, welcome back. Round 3, we've moved over onto Prokhorovka. We have SW on the attack, running a machine, 260, double 277s, and a chisel. And Keg on defense, running Andre the Giant, a Valor, an IS-7, a Batchat, and a CS. So SW is sticking to the more heavy lineups, although the hit points are actually pretty even here. Likely because of the machine having very little hit points for a heavy tank, really. More in line with the mediums. So we'll see what they're going to do here. Looks like SW just making their way up into the middle ridge. Although Masterman looking like he might want to try and get a shot, but Keg doesn't have a light tank that's going to be doing any kind of crazy spots over the tracks or in the mid. Sam is going toward the bull, it looks like. He does decide against it after spotting out the machine and the chisel from the side of SW. So very good decision there to fall back. And he actually does get a spot on one of the 277s as well. So this trap here kind of foiled, but, they still have 2 unspotted heavies there. So, let's see what they do with those tanks. Lushy looks like he took a little bit of fall damage over on that side in the Batchat. Definitely not something you want to see, especially in a tank like the Batchat. Every hit point does matter. And having a healthy Batchat in the end game is really important. So, definitely not the tank you want to see taking unnecessary damage, especially when it's not even at the hands of an enemy. But those tanks being outside of render for Lushy here, he's not going to get too much value. But if these heavies do decide to start peeking the middle here, he should be able to get pretty good side shots onto those Soviet heavies. Looks like they are starting to think about making a push here. I'm curious if they're just going to be peeking or if they're going to go full over. Lushy has started firing, and these SW tanks are not stopping. They're going right over onto Warlord James, but this is kind of a trap here. You know, Keg has two heavies in the back as well, although they aren't really peeking to help as much as I would have hoped. Warlord James down to a one-shot right now, and the punish, it's not terrible, but it's not great, and it's very spread out across the three heavy tanks from the side of SW. Sam able to get one shot in over the tracks as well. Lushy in the bat, coming off of reload, getting closer into this game. That is something I do like to see. You know, I think too many people stay up on the hill in these types of battles, and it's not usually the correct decision. Sam actually going in here, I'm not sure if this was the play. He is all alone, his heavies are not peeking for him either, and his bat chat is just too far out of the fight. So maybe a bit too optimistic of a push there, I think, from Sam. Unfortunately, does get picked off for free. Keg now down 2 tanks, and not even having an HP lead. So, yeah. This bat chat is going to get a nice clip off into these heavies. He needs to make every shot count, though. He does get punished. He actually hits the 277 blind there as he dipped behind the other 277. So, but yeah, just not the clip you really need to have in that kind of scenario. If he was able to pin a couple more of those shots, you know, both of those 277s could have been out of this game. I also feel like these two heavy tanks from Keg, like, they really need to be peaking as soon as Warlord James there got pushed. Like, I feel like they were a little too scared. They knew that, you know, 2 tanks were still unspotted, but still, like, it's a machine and a chisel. Like, you kind of just have to take those shots, especially against the machine. Like, machine at that distance probably isn't going to pin very many of its clip, so you just kind of have to take the risk there. You need to support your teammate, and yeah, unfortunately they just weren't able to do as much damage to these heavy tanks as you would have liked to see. But SW has started to cap pressure here. Looks like Lushy is going to be the one, potentially. Oh, bad cross from Masterman there. Crosses right in front of the gun of I Am Legion in the Andre the Giant. Gets picked off there. So, you know, I mean, that's a free +1 tank back. You know, Keg's still down 1 tank, but only 1 and not 2 now. Lushy still making his way all the way around the map. Not sure if he's really going to have an angle to reset the chisel here. He might. 19 seconds on the cap. He does spot him out, but he does get spotted in return before even firing a shot and gets taken out by the machine. So, looks like not using bushes there potentially, or just not having the right crew and equipment set up potentially as well. I don't feel like he should be getting spotted if he's peeking that properly, but that's unfortunate. And SW picks up round number 3. So they'll go back up 1 round on Keg, put themselves on match point. So, oh, that's the wrong one. Boom, 1-2. Let's take a look at the scoreboard here. SW, you know, honestly, not much damage from either side here. It was really just a game of map control, I think. Yeah, I mean, SW just took their cap. Nothing that they could do about it. You know, losing out on Sam and Warlord James there. Not getting enough damage out in return either. IS-7, only 1 pin. Not what you want to see. Andre, just shy of 2k, but still, I feel like if they're peeking, covering James a bit more, able to get a bit more punish before he goes down, and potentially even just repushing, especially if Sam is going to cross the tracks like he did, that's when you need all of your tanks to do so. And you know, the Bat Chat I think was just too far out of the fight at the time to really have helped out in that fight as well. So at best, they're still taking like a 3v3, and yeah, probably just not the fight you want to take there. I do think if Keg played that a bit slower, they probably still had the upper hand. I mean, the only medium tank SW had was the Chisel, so map control wise, they'd be relying on a Chisel and maybe a machine to kind of hold the backside against the CS and a Bat. Really, a CS and Bat should win that all day long. I think Keg just a little too overeager on the repush, and that cost them dearly in this round. But we'll have to see if they have a response on their attack of Prokhorovka coming up next. All right, and welcome back. We have SW defending here with 5 heavy tanks, coming out with a QL, a Valor, a Machine, a 277, and an IS-7. And on the side of Keg, attacking will be an Andre the Giant coming out again, an MBTB, a double IS-7, and an E50M. So, interesting. Not something you see every day, only one medium tank in a 5v5 proc match, and the rest are heavies. So, yeah, very, very heavy lineups from both sides here. We'll have to see what they're gonna do. Looks like Sam gonna be going for Bull, but he's gonna have to contest the machine from Stargate Fox. And the rest of the Keg Heavy is just going up to the center, kind of the same, kind of mirroring SW here, to be honest. I'm curious if we're just gonna have some sort of middle fight here. Definitely seems like it. Sam looking like he wants to commit into the Bull. Not sure if that's gonna pan out for him. He does take one from the machine, but the machine does back off. He hasn't spotted any of these heavies, so he most likely thinks a push that way is coming. But these heavies are not stopping. Flirter and Lushy here in the I-7 going straight over. Realistically, probably should have waited a little bit longer for their other 2 heavies. they're taking the brunt of the punish, but now these other two heavies coming in. IS-7 from SW goes down. If they can get the focus here going, QL looks like he's going to be the focus for this Keg team next. Really good focus fire so far. Even Flirter ignoring the 277 interface. That's what you like to see. QL goes down, 277, likely the target of opportunity next. Stargate Fox and Sam trading out shots here. The Valor are going to come up, clean up the E50M, but it might just be too late for SW here, as they've just lost all of their heavies on the other side. The 277 goes down. It's now a 2v4, make that a 1v4, and Keg responds again. Gonna tie up the scoreline 2-2, and we are going to tiebreaker. So, yeah. I mean, there, I think that was just a matter of really focus fire from Keg was actually pretty decent on their pushover. I think the IS-7s maybe just went a little too early. I didn't think that the push from Sam into the bowl off the bat was the best play, but I think it scared off Stargate in the machine and probably spooked the rest of SW into thinking that there was a larger push there happening, when in fact it was right in front of them. So, yeah, Keg just kind of surprising SW, I think, there with that push over mid. On the side of Keg, really even damage spread, 2600 to 1800. That's what you like to see, really. Everyone just doing damage, getting shots off. And really, from the side of SW, not too bad either. I think they just had, that Valor was out of the fight for most of that game. And, the tanks that got focused out early, like the IS-7 and QL, just not able to get as much going. Stargate, not bad damage either, but likely I'm not trying to report you, I'm sorry. 6 for 8. Could have pinned 2 more shots. Maybe that takes out Sam in the E50M. Maybe the Valor could go hold the other side with the heavies, and maybe it's a bit closer of a game. But really, that's just nitpicking. I think Keg won off of information there more than anything, or the lack of information for the side of SW, I should say. So, yeah. Looks like we are going to tiebreaker, which will be on Ghost Town. Keg is the host team, so they will be defending, and SW will attack if they switch sides, which they should. Let me see, I'm being pinged. Okay. So we'll let them get some time to, pick some tanks and stuff, and we'll be right back. All right, looks like we're about to get round number 5, the final round, the tiebreaker on Ghost Town underway here. Looks like SW taking double IS7, double 277, and a 260, I believe. So a very light, heavy lineup, very fast. They are attacking here, so plenty of tanks to be able to sit hull down in that A cap if they want. Not really anything for DPM or gun depression for fighting the middle ramps, so we'll see what they decide to do there. Keg, on the other hand, bringing out 2 super heavies, the VK72 and the Type 5. They have an MPTB and double IS7 of them for their own. So yeah, let's see which team comes out on top here. Very, very mobile setup from the side of SW, so, mobility being their key advantage here. Curious what they're going to do. I assume, getting double IS7s onto cap seems like a pretty popular strat nowadays, but they don't really have any other tanks to hold the rest of the map, unless they just try and pile on, more tanks in front to stop it. We'll have to see. But looks like I Am Legion here in the VK. He's going to be able to get a shot onto this cross. Looks like target verified, going to be the first one to cross. He doesn't get spotted, though, until now, which is going to be too late for Legion to get a shot off, which means he's also not going to spot the 260 potentially until it's too late as well. So that's 2 tanks onto cap, no punish. I think Legion not peaking quite enough there. Type 5, Sam, able to get a nice shot into the 260 there. Not sure if that was HE or a heat round. 500 roll, could be low roll from a heat round. Could also be a very nice HE splash. So, yeah, either way, good damage. He does just take 2 shots in return, though. The VK gives it back, 600 into the 260 turret. 260, it's an okay tank for a hold down, but, compared to something like an IS7 or even a 277 here, those tanks are going to be much better for a spot like this. He still has the side of his turret to this VK. He needs another shot. So this hold down not working out well for the side of SW. They might just want to consider abandoning this right now. They are down on HP, but they didn't have as much to start as Keg as well, so we do have to consider that. The Type 5 from Keg getting bled down a little bit more now. Soviet heavies here having 340 heat. Easily going to butter the Type 5 turret there. The Type 5 able to retaliate, takes down the 260, who was a one-shot. Now I Am Legion pushing up in the VK. He's going to decide to take a 1v1 against target verified. Both of those guys missing their shots on each other. So looks like Stargate Fox coming back to support his friend here. He gets a nice shot into the VK. Stops him from pressuring as much, but he still has a side shot. He gets a nice pin into the side of the 277. Over on the other side, the MBTB from Keg does go down, but it looks like they are going to trade out the IS7 as well. Potentially. Flirter and Lushy pushing in here. Able to get the ram kill, that's actually big. So they actually are able to get the double tap onto the 277 as well. May even be able to get a ram kill here. No, not enough. Not enough speed. They will indefinitely pick up that kill with their guns. And that just leaves the 2 tanks from SW now. So Keg able to rally, stay into the fight, and they do actually take the tiebreaker against SW here. So, yeah, overall, a really good match from these teams. I expected this one to be pretty close, and, good to see a tiebreaker match as well. So, congrats to both teams, and congrats to Keg for their win here. We'll just quickly go over the damage here. I Am Legion, that VK, able to get 3,200 off. That's a pretty massive result for the VK there. The VK, it did get buffed recently. It now has the same armor profile as the Panzer 7, so no longer have as blaring of a weak spot. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. But the gun still kind of derpy. Yeah, you have to fire those heat rounds, which they're decent pin, but they are heat, and against the troll tanks, troll side armor of like a 277 or even a 260 or IS7 at time, could be hard to make those shots count, but he did in this case. And really just everyone on the side of Keg doing their part. The NBTP getting focused out early obviously has a bit less damage, but that's to be expected. And yeah, I think SW, the 260 on cap, just not really working out as well as they'd hoped. And yeah, I think in that scenario, having the double IS-7 on cap would have definitely been a lot better for them. A lot more armor to be able to hold off against those tanks like the Type 5 and the VK. So yeah, I think that's really what kind of ultimately led to their demise in this game. But either way, well played from Keg. They're going to take it 3